As a customer champion, you'd always like to know more about your customers. What's on their mind? What are they interested in? What's the best way to reach them? On the flip side, as a loyal customer, you always appreciate a more personalized experience. But this isn't always easy to do. Sometimes there's a gap that separates customers from their champions. Fortunately, this is where predictive modeling can help. Predictive modeling lets you leverage customer data and machine learning to anticipate your customers' needs, thereby bridging the gap between customer champion and customer. For this use case, we'll set up a predictive model that scores customers on their likelihood to churn, and we'll do it in just 5 steps. You'll need 3 things. First, plenty of customer data to feed your model. Second, your treasure data CDP, which will generate predictive scores using self-service machine learning models. And third, a messaging platform like Slack. Here's how. The first step is to collect the right data. Machine learning algorithms are notoriously data intensive, which is why they work so well with CDPs. Between Treasure Data's large catalog of data integrations and schema-on-read ingestion processes, it's possible to import lots of data really quickly in order to run your predictive model. The next step is to build the predictive model. Fortunately, you don't need to be a data scientist to do this with Treasure Data, because predictive models are included in Audience Studio. Just fill out the fields and click Train. Once finished, each profile in your scoring sample will be enriched with a propensity to churn score. The third step is to create the audience. It's easy to create a new segment of likely to churn customers straight from the predictive scores screen. Just select New Segment and configure the requisite details. Before you leave, open the SQL query screen and note the SQL code, as we'll need this later. The fourth step is to implement the workflow. In this case, we'd like to integrate with Slack, but Slack isn't in the integrations catalog. Instead, there's a treasure box for it. To use the treasure box, grab the code, drop it into a new Treasure Data workflow, and update the parameters. The SQL code you generated earlier will be really helpful here. The last step is to launch the notifications. Once everything is up and running, Slack messages will begin arriving, identifying which customers are likely to churn. Armed with this information, your customer champions can arrange interventions, thereby reducing churn rates. That's it. In just 5 steps, you can build a propensity model that predicts when customers are likely to churn. When paired with a messaging platform like Slack, you can use the insights from the model to identify churn risks early and then take action. All you need is customer data, a messaging platform, and your Treasure Data CDP.